All right. Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see some repeats. Actually, I know all of you by now. So we're going to be going through a session that I introduced to you last week, but I've made quite a few modifications. I noticed that there was a lot of time with our arms up. So I've added a few breaks in there, just a few ways to kind of add a little bit more variety to the movement. And I've also thrown in a couple new things. So I'm really excited to share this with you. And just to reiterate what Dan was saying, just definitely go at your own pace. I'll do my best to deliver that within the cues. But this is what I really want to highlight is just the experience of the movement and how it feels for you, and just hopefully going and engaging with this practice in a way that both makes sense for you and like feels good. Um, yeah. All right. Without further ado, let's get started. So I'd like to get started with a exercise called EFT tapping. And this is just a little way to arrive, get present. It's kind of playful, and I find it good fun. So um, if you'd like to join me, take 3 fingers or so, and we're going to tap at a few different places on our face and chest and just under our arms here. And of course, if any of those don't feel like places that you would like to tap, feel free to skip or just move on to the next one. We're going to go through this exercise 2 times. All right. So with these 3 fingers, find a spot roughly around the middle of the top of your head and just lightly tap. Enough to feel the presence of your fingers, but nothing that's painful or anything, just to let you know that it's there. All right, and now our second location is going to be the center of our forehead, just above the middle of our eyebrows. Tapping a few times here. The number doesn't matter. Just feel into the sensation as you tap. It's a good way to plant your awareness. Now come down and just tap underneath one of your eyes. Doesn't matter which one. Then move over to the other eye. Then just underneath your nose. Your chin. Your collarbone. Again, doesn't matter which one. Other side. And then under your arm. You can use your whole palm for this if you'd like. And the other side. All right, let's go through that one more time. We're going to move a little bit faster. And I'll invite you to just think while we're doing this about what you'd like to get from this yoga session. And that's completely up to you, however you want to engage with it. So just, for me, I want to feel more connected to my body during this session. And in the center of the forehead, under the eye, other eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, and then the other side. And then finally under the arms, one at a time. And from here, let's continue this full palm patting. And make our way down each of our arms. Might hit with a little bit more force here than you were doing with the tapping. Again, just enough to let you know that your hand is there hitting you. We're tapping. Make your way back up. Spend a little bit of time on the shoulder, maybe going up to the neck a little bit. And then make your way down the inside of the arm. Just waking up our limbs, feeling our edges and our boundaries. And maybe spend a bit of time going under your arm, down your side, then up along the top of your chest. Whenever you're ready, switch over to the other side. We're going to go through those same actions, starting at the shoulder, making your way, adding down the outside of your arm, the top of your arm. Maybe pat the top of your hand a couple times. Then make your way back up. Flip your hand so your palm faces the ceiling. And make your way back down. Then come back up to your shoulder. Couple taps up the neck. Top of the chest. And under your arm, down your side. All right. Let that go. Make any last taps that feel good for you. All right, let's just shake it all off. Act however you want. All right. See, yoga can be silly. We're not all serious people. Thank you for humoring me. All right. All right, now let's get into our practice. We're going to start by warming up all the joints of our upper body, moving from our fingers all the way up our arms into our shoulders. And then later we're going to move down and use a bit of our torso. So let's start with these little guys, these fingers that do so much for us. Start by sticking your palms straight out in front of you. Reach a little bit through your palms and then roll your shoulder blades onto your back, snug them in tight. From here, spread your fingers wide in all directions and then curl your fingers in as if you're clawing something. Bring your fingers in and then make your way into some fists, squeeze, and then let that go. Starting with the thumbs, unravel your fingers, taking your time. Make those stop signs again, reach out in all directions. Let's do that one more time. Curl the fingers in. This might actually be one of the hardest exercises of the whole class. So good for you, we're getting it out of the way to start. And then unwind the fingers, reach them in all directions. All right, let that go, have a little shake. A little hand blast if you'd like, where it's as if you're flicking water off your fingers. Another little shake. And then make stop signs again. Spread those fingers wide and then flip your hands over and point your fingers towards the ground. Make stop signs again. Really push out through your palms and flip them over one more time. Take a little shake just to give yourself a break. All right, one last time, meeting with stop signs. Reach your hands wide. All right, and I've used this metaphor before. I'm going to use it again. Imagine your hands are on really big, oversized dials, and you're turning both dials so your fingers point towards each other. This is a move that really brings our shoulder blade into this, or our arm socket up at the shoulder. And then reach in the opposite direction. One more time. And reach the fingers wide. Let's take another little break. Shake your hands out or just give them a rest. One more exercise with the hands. All right. Reach your fingers long, and this time make fists and point your knuckles down towards the floor, and then turn them to face each other, and then turn them away from each other. Similar to the dial exercise, but this time we have closed fists, which is going to change the experience of this. Again, staying in your comfort zone, relatively straight arms if possible. All right, now let's let that go and let's have a really big, silly shake. Blech, whole body. Just warming up, letting that go. That was a lot of technical work. Now let's try and have a little bit more of an easy time. Take a moment, find a nice supportive posture. Feel into the support of your legs or the seat. Place your palms on your thighs and take a moment to just reach your crown of the head a little bit taller on your inhale. All right, let that go. Find something a little bit more comfortable and relaxed. Again, push your hands into your thighs. Feel into the support of your seat. Reach a little taller. Let that go. All right, let's start to warm up our spine. And let's start at the neck, going nice and gentle. Again, keeping a nice posture. Start to take your nose over side to side. Like you're nodding yes, but really slowly. Just savoring the time in between sides. Just arcing through your nose. Take a moment to look around your room, your practice space as you're doing this. I wonder if there's anything within your practice space that seems new to you. Like this might be a place where you practice all the time. This might be an area of your home that you spend a lot of time in. And I'm just gonna ask you to consider the possibility of discovering something within this space. Just kind of, I'm inviting curiosity within your gaze here. All right, begin to wind those down, making smaller and smaller movements. And let's meet in center. Now let's go through, we've just done our yeses, let's do a few no nods. So tuck your chin in towards your chest, look down, and then uncurl the neck, look up just a little bit. And let's go through that 5 or 6 more times, moving at your own pace. And again, bring some curiosity to your gaze. So again, just if this is a place you've practiced in many times before or part of your home where you spend a lot of time, see if you can notice something. Maybe the way the light is coming in the window, or even like a cobweb on the ceiling. All right, let that go. Let that go. This time, take your ear over to your shoulder. So let's take our right ear over to our right shoulder, just gentle. Come through center and take the ear over to the opposite shoulder. Just moving through this a few more times, just going gently. All right, let's meet in stillness. We're going to bring all of these movements together into some head circles. So imagine there is a pencil sticking out from the edge of your nose, or a marker or a paintbrush. And like you're drawing a circle with your nose. Take your time and move nice and slowly, arcing all the way through the movement of your neck. Pick a point to pause and do a couple in the opposite direction. Just nice and easy. All right, let's meet in stillness. And we're gonna do that again, but we're gonna do it a little bit more technically. So I'm gonna give you some more detailed instructions. And again, we're bringing together all the movements we've just practiced into one neck, shoulder flow, if you will. So you start by taking your right ear to your right shoulder, and then revolve your head so your chin faces your right shoulder. And then swoop your chin through the center line and bring your chin over to the opposite shoulder. And then turn so your ear faces the shoulder. And then move gently through the back plane, making a nice arc with your neck. And let's go through that same thing in the same direction. So ear to shoulder, chin to shoulder. Swoop your chin through center, chin to shoulder, ear to shoulder, and then come up to neutral. Let's go in the opposite direction. So left ear to left shoulder, then take your chin, revolve your head, swoop through center, chin to right shoulder, ear to your right shoulder. Gently arc through the back plane one more time. Left ear to left shoulder, chin to left shoulder, arc through center, chin to shoulder, ear to shoulder, and then come up to neutral. So it'd be a great time to have another silly little shake. Maybe bring your shoulders into it more, rock your head, just anything that feels good, silly. This is a break, a little break. All right. So now we're going to spend a little bit more time on the neck, but I'd like to introduce the option of bringing the breath into our practice now. So maybe let's just all take a breath together. Let's find that nice stance, firm into your foundation, whether that's your feet or the seat of your chair. Push your hands into your thighs, grow a little taller, and take an inhale. And then let that go and allow yourself to find a more comfortable posture. One more time, nice big inhale, grow a little taller. And then let that go. Reach up through the crown of your head. And this time we're gonna go through a flow called cat and cow. I'll introduce the movement first, and then I'll tell you a few ways you can bring your breath into it. So I'm gonna show this from the side. So start by bringing your chin to your chest with your hands supporting your weight on your thighs. This time, allow your chest to round forward just a little bit. Tuck your chin in, and then keep your chin tucked and start to revolve your chest upright. And then your head comes up last. Look towards the top corner of your ceiling. Come into a gentle back bend. And then from here, move back into that first movement. So this time, maybe take an exhale. Bring your chin to your chest. Exhale as you round forward. Any depth. Push your hands into your thighs. Bring your chest upright. Take an inhale as you look up. Let's do this a couple more times, moving at your own pace. If you'd like, you could take a full round of inhale and exhale for each of these movements. So no need to follow my pace, just an invitation to allow your breath to support you in this movement. And we're all different, so our breath is going to support us in different ways. Just a few more of these. Great. Take 1 or 2 more, and then let's all meet in stillness together. Okay. Take a moment and find that straight upright posture. And this time, bring your palms to the back of your head. You might want to interlace your hands and make a little basket for your head. So maintaining that good posture, push your head back as if you're tucking your chin in slightly. So just put a little bit of pressure from your head into your hands, and then you can use your hands to push back on your head as if there's a little bit of, so both are pushing into each other and they're both trying to win, but just staying in a medium level of effort here. So tuck your chin, push it back into your hands. All right, we'll let that go. That's a great exercise to reduce some of the effects of leaning forward and being on a computer all day. But that's kind of woven into this practice, but that's a specific one. All right, let's do another couple cat-cows. What we were just doing. So that's tucking your chin in, rounding forward, and then revolving upright. Let's just do 2 more, and then we'll move on to the next portion of our practice. Okay, great. Now we're going to start to warm up our shoulders and bring our arms into this. So let's start with some simple shoulder shrugs. So on an inhale, reach your shoulders up towards your ears. And then when your exhale comes, let them go. Maybe even push them down a little, but just slightly. Let's do 4 more. So inhale, shoulders to ears. Exhale, let them fall. One more. Let it go. Now we're going to take that movement and turn it into a full shoulder roll. So bring your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And continue to move through that a few more times. Making some space for your breath. I always find the breath feels nice as my shoulders are coming up, and exhale feels nice as they come down. Let's do 1 or 2 more. And then pause and do a couple in the other direction. Just nice, taking a little bit of space for your breath here. All right, let that go. And let's have another little arm shake. Okay. Now we're going to go through an exercise that looks a lot like a bicep curl. So take your arms and reach them out at about a 45-degree angle in front of you, your palms facing up. You can do this with open or closed hands, but keeping your upper arm relatively still, start to bring your palms towards your shoulders. And then extend your arms long. Let's do this a few more times. Just really taking your time to go through this full range of motion. And again, this is a great opportunity to just bring the breath into it. If you'd like, no pressure. You can engage with this the way that you want. But I love to bring my breath into my practice. I want to breathe in every movement if I can. Just 1 or 2 more. All right, now let that go. A couple more little shakes. And let's try a similar movement, but bringing our whole body into this. So let's start with straight arms, again at a 45-degree angle. Reach your arms overhead and then let them fall down. So starting with straight arms, let's do a couple more. So feel free to continue with this, or if you'd like, start to bend your arms and then move them, kind of like you're waving. So a good analogy for this is to imagine that you're seaweed on the bottom of the ocean, being moved back and forth with the waves. Your arms are the seaweed. All right, one last option here, and it's totally an option. But if you'd like, start to move them in the opposite direction. So reaching one arm up and one arm down, and then switching. Inhaling and exhaling with your movements. Just taking your time, really feeling into the sensations of moving your arms. Feel free to let this go at any time. And if you'd like to do one or two more, we have time to do that. All right, let's reach our arms up overhead, reach towards the ceiling. Okay, let that go. You can let your arms splat down if you'd like, or let them gently fall. Another time to just feel into the arms, wiggle them out, maybe do a couple finger blasts. Okay. So bring your palms to your shoulders and then take your elbows out to the side. So you're making a line through your whole upper body, elbow to elbow. Keep that and start to make tiny little circles with your elbow. Let those circles get larger and larger, as if you're slowly increasing the range of motion. Almost like you're drawing a spiral with your elbows, and the spiral is getting larger and larger and larger and larger. Pick a point to pause. Take your arms out wide, and this time start with a nice, big, swooping circle, and then let it get a little smaller and a little smaller. And this time you're going the opposite way on your spiral, letting your spiral get smaller and smaller and smaller. All right, shake that out a little bit. Nice little break for the hands. Let's reach the arms out again. And this time, starting with a small spiral, go in the opposite direction and let it get a little bit bigger. And a little bit bigger. And then pause, bring your hands to your shoulders, and then starting with the large spirals, let them get smaller and smaller, moving in the opposite direction as you did last time. Take another couple breaths here to bring those spirals smaller and smaller until you're making the smallest micro movements. All right, and then let that go. Whew. Bring your hands to your thighs and push your hands into your thighs. Feel into the foundation of your seat and reach the crown of your head a little taller. Maybe take an inhale here to support growing a little bit taller. And then use the support of your hands and allow your chest to come forward just a little bit, keeping a relatively straight spine here. And then come back up to neutral. Let's try that again. Exhale as you lean forward. And then inhale to come back up. Any amount is fine. Just a nice little gentle movement. And then start to go over to the side a little bit, using the support of your hands to come back up. The other side. A little bit more. Now let's start to make some circles with our upper body. So really, I just want to emphasize using the hands for support here. Push them into your thighs. Like move in a way that's small enough for you to feel really secure in this motion. If you'd like to follow me, start to take your torso in little circles. Again, I'm really leaning on my hands here, pushing into my thighs. So find a level of circle that feels good for you. And do a couple more. I want to add an option here to reach your arms up, but I'm going to suggest doing a relatively small torso circle if you're doing this. So if you'd like, you can reach your arms up to the sky and go around in a small torso circle. No preference in option though, just what feels fun and exciting for you. Pick a point to pause, reach tall again, and go do a few circles in the opposite direction. So either with your arms reaching out to the side or coming down for support. Feel free to experiment and change in between them. See what feels good for you. When my hands are down, resting on my thighs, I have more of a range of motion within this movement, but more is not necessarily better. It's just different. And when I raise my arms up, this is more difficult for me. And I move a little bit smaller, but it's also challenging myself in a different way. Take another couple breaths and start to make smaller and smaller sways. Kind of like you're a tree blowing in the wind. Reach your arms up to the sky, reach high, and then let your arms go, let them fall. Okay, great. Bring your hands to your shoulders again and take your elbows out to the side. This time, we're going to move our elbows in so they come towards each other, and then spread the arms wide and draw your shoulder blades together at the back. So my arms are just going slightly back behind me, but any movement is fine. And start with a small range of motion to get warmed up. And then maybe bring your elbows on back behind you a little bit more. Great opportunity to bring the breath into this. I inhale when I reach wide, and I exhale when I bring my elbows together. But maybe a full round of breath would suit this movement better. Just two more. All right, I think it's time we took another shake. Just reach into your hands, maybe flick your fingers a little bit. Get the blood flowing and also just take a little bit of a break between arm movements. Okay, we're gonna keep going in that same direction. So this time, take your arms out into a T, nice and wide, and then bring your hands together into a nice hug shape and reach them wide again. And this time cross the opposite elbow or the opposite arm on top. So reach wide, draw your shoulder blades together, and then come in and give yourself a little bit of a hug. Let's do a couple more. Inhaling to reach wide. Exhaling for your hug. Maybe take a pause before doing another one. Let's do two more. All right, this time, give yourself a hug. Keep that hug, squeeze in a little bit tighter. Reach tall through the crown of your head, and then revolve your whole torso over to the side. Take a moment here. Another breath. And then come back to center. Reach your arms wide and change the cross of your arms, bringing the opposite arm to the top shoulder. Squeeze in, give yourself a nice tight hug, and then revolve the chest open to the other side. Another breath here, feeling into this gentle twist. And then use your inhale to come back to center. Let's move through these a little bit faster. So keeping the arms across the way they are, just take your torso over to the side. Inhale through center and exhale to twist the other way. It doesn't matter which arm's on top. We're going to switch that in just a moment. Just a couple more. All right, take the arms wide and cross the arms in the opposite way, bringing the opposite hand to opposite shoulder. And a couple more gentle twists. Twisting any amount. Even not twisting at all, maybe just taking this movement with your neck. All right, let's let that go. And I'd like to bring in one more option into this twisting flow. So feel free to keep your arms on opposite shoulders and maintain the practice that way. Or if you'd like, take your arms out into a T, bend your elbows 90 degrees so your palms are facing up, kind of like your arms are cactus arms. And from here, revolve your chest side to side. Inhale through center and exhale to the other side. Adding the arms like this can be kind of challenging because it changes the mobility of your torso because your shoulder blades are pressing really tightly into your back. Let's do a couple more of these. Just exploring, feeling into this different range of motion. And then let's meet in center. Arms still in cactus shape. Take your elbows, beam them out to the side, and then revolve your hands down. Keep your elbows raised. Shoulders might want to come up to your ears. Relax them just a little bit and push back. Push back for one more breath. Okay, let that go. Shake the arms out. Whew. Okay. Bring your palms to your thighs. And we're going to do a few more supported side bends. So using the support of your hands, lower one shoulder to the side, bending through the whole torso, and then push into your thigh. Inhale, come back up to center, and let your other shoulder fall over to the side. Taking a nice little bend through your whole torso. Do a couple more of these just to warm up. Again, bending any amount, swaying any amount, using your hands for support. All right. So now we're going to add an option to raise the opposite hand. So again, I'm going to start with the right. So I'm reaching over to the right, and I'm going to reach my left arm up overhead. Then inhale through center, bring my left arm to my thigh, bringing support, and then reaching over to the other side. Let's do 4 more of these. It helps to inhale to come back to center, maybe exhaling as you flow over to the other side. And again. Okay, let that go. Take a shake if you'd like. And I'm going to invite you to bring your attention up here. I'm going to show you our peak pose of this class, and that's called a bow and arrow. So we're going to go through one more flow, and then we're going to cool down and just spend a few moments doing some self-massage. So this is something that's going to bring together everything we've worked on through class today. So I'll invite you to watch me the first time, and then I will lead us all through it in more detail. So this is called bow and arrow. So I'm going to start by taking my arms out into a T, and I'm going to bring my right arm, revolve my whole chest over, and bring my right arm to my left arm. From here, I'm going to make a fist, and imagine I have a bow and arrow drawstring. I'm going to draw that back, moving my arm across my chest, and then reach out long. Okay, let's try that together. And I will give you a bit more detail as we do it. Let's start with the right arm as our arm that's pulling the draw. So take your arms out into a T. Revolve your arm and your chest to bring your palms closer together. Make a fist with your right arm and then draw your fist back. Really firm through your right arm and keep your fist as close to your chest as possible. And then reach out long. Let's try that with the other arm. So bring the left arm over to the right. Make a fist, draw that back, and move your fist across center. If you'd like to make this a little bit more challenging, track your eyes at the hand that's moving. So keep your eyes, your gaze resting on your fist that's moving. Totally optional. You may find that you have a different range of motion here on each side. So for me, to bring my right arm over to my left arm is a lot easier than bringing my left arm over to my right. And that's just part of being in a body. It's different range of motion on each side. Totally normal and totally fine. Let's do up to 3 more. Any amount is fine. All right. Take another breath to finish up your last movement. Take your arms out into a T one more time. Give yourself a nice big hug, squeeze in, and just gently, ever so gently, wiggle back and forth. Unwind the arms, cross them in the other direction. Another little wiggle, nice big squeeze in. Ooh. Place your palms on your thighs. And just gently nod up and down. And then side to side, making that yes motion. Come back into the nodding yes and no. And this time, let's go through a couple more cat-cows. Drop your chin, round forward, push your hands into your thighs, revolve the chest back up, look up, just a gentle back bend. A couple more of those. Bring even more emphasis to the experience of breathing here if you can, if you'd like to. Okay. So we have a few moments left in class. We're done with our movement portion, and I'd like to lead us through a little bit of self-massage. We've asked a lot of our bodies in this session. We've moved our arms a lot. So this is a great way just to say thank you to the body, but also just ease up some of the tension that comes along with all of that motion. So I've probably led you through this exercise before, but if you've been in one of my classes, but I'll lead us through it again. Make a nice C shape with your palm, bringing all your fingers together. And then gently squeeze, moving up your hand, up your arm rather, coming onto your bicep. Squeeze your shoulder and up to your trapezius and a little bit of the neck. Ooh, this is tender for me around the neck, but it's going to be tender for you in all kinds of different spots. We're going to all have different experience of this. Move your arm back down, just gently squeezing, and then squeeze your hand a little bit. Now make your way over to the top of your arm, flip your palm to the ceiling, and just gently squeeze up your arm this way. Coming onto the shoulder, the trap, and then coming back, maybe giving a little bit of attention to your arm, underarm, down your side, and then moving down your arm one more time. Ooh. All right, now that can be a lot of work for the hand that's massaging. Take a moment, shake it out, give it a little bit of a rest, and let's move on to the other side, making that same C shape with the hand, starting at the top of the shoulder, gently squeezing down your arm, moving towards your hand. Squeeze your hand a little bit, bring your fingers together, squeeze all of your fingers. And then move your way back up your arm, moving along the top of the arm. We're going to give the inside of the arm a little bit of attention in a moment. Massage this side of your trapezius muscle, just on the side of your neck here, between your neck and your shoulder. Up onto your neck, maybe a little bit of the back of the neck. And then make your way down. Let's massage the inside of our arm. Flip your palm to face the ceiling. And do that same squeezing motion. Just gently squeezing, gently and firmly, a nice intersection. Coming the inside of the arm, the shoulder, your trap and your neck. And then just the inside of your underarm, and just gently down your side. Take a moment, bring your palms together, rub them together. Really get some nice heat going here. And then you can bring your palms to your face, either on your cheeks or covering your eyes. Feel into that heat. And then brush down your face. down your arms and do this sweeping motion. Sweep down your sides and your chest, maybe your back, maybe down your thighs a little. Take another moment and then let's all meet in stillness. To end our practice today, I'd like us to all share a breath together. So take a moment, feel into your posture, find something straight and supportive. Take a nice, deep inhale, and then audibly let it go. Let's do one more. Nice, deep inhale. And then let it go. Thank you so much for your practice. It's been an absolute pleasure. So until next time, take care.